exactly where I'm at. Opener off of White Pepper. This is, you know, depending on who you ask, this might be their best opener. But what a wonderful song. There's lots of guitar parts to go over, and they've got lots of different sounds and stuff. So that's all cool. I'm going to be tackling the rhythm parts in this video, and I'm going to have a separate video on all the lead parts. So all the solos and all the lead parts and everything Diener plays live also. Basically, that's going to be the Diener part. But I'll call it the lead part. And this was requested by Inchman, so thank you very much. So for the sound of the guitar, it's got like some chorus and some phaser. It's got not as heavy on the phaser as I am, but you know, you can't really tweak that at the moment. So, and for the tuning, I'm going to turn all that off. For the tuning, it's going to be, you're going to tune your A string down to a G. So it's going to be an E standard where it's just, everything's the same except you tune your A string down to a G. Right? And if that tuning may sound familiar to you, that's because that's the tuning. Diener uses on a couple of songs and when they do it live, but the most notable one being Mutilated Lips. And there's a listen where Diener teaches that song, so that's cool. So yeah, this isn't totally impossible to play in a different tuning, but it's definitely is a lot better sounding if you do. So we're gonna do, this is gonna be 5th fret of the D, and then 7th of the high E. And there's not a super mega precise picking pattern here, but it's kind of it's the best sort of, you know, D string, D and sort of your low, we'll just call it the A string even though it's tuned to G. You hit both of those. So there, those two, and then go to your B and G, then high E, and then you hit your, you know, alternate between the low ones and the G and B, B and G in that case. All right, so that's the kind of vibe you want to go for. So that's just that shape. We got that, and all the strings are open. You don't really hit the low E throughout the whole song, really. So, and then you move your finger down to 4th fret of the D and 5th of the high E. Right, same picking pattern. And then just move both of those down 2 frets. So 2nd and 3rd on the D and E respectively. Again, have your open A sort of ringing out through that. And then get the G major 7th sound. It's just the 2nd fret of the high E, everything else open. Again, no low E. And then we go here. It's such a nice sound. That's 5th on the E, and you're kind of muting the D. And then open G, right? And then, so it's 5th on the A, B, and high E, but you're hitting the, he kind of hits both of those when he hits that. So you don't want to hit that until later. You don't want to go. You want to go. In fact, I kind of like to go when he has that. I like to hit that open E string before, like that. Not really sure if he's doing that on the album, but whatever. And then we go to a. So that's really all that is. It's just an A7, because this is an A note here, but it's 2nd fret on the B and A, and then everything else is open. You don't really hit the D string there. And then sometimes when he does that, he'll do this. He'll hit that. We'll hit that extension, that 6th there. So, but not all the time, just sometimes. So that's the main part. Let's begin with the past in front and all the things things that you really don't care about now. And be exactly where I'm at. So that's the main part. And then we have the, I guess you'd call it the main riff, whatever. It's all right. So this is a D shape up here on the 7th of the G, and then 8 and 7 on the other two. And you got your open G, open A string that's tuned to G. Your open D and A strings are underneath of that, right? So I sort of strum the lower strings and then strum the, you want to sort of emphasize the two top strings in a certain pattern, right? You want to go, right? So hit the low strings, then B string, and probably in combination with the G, and then hit the top string. Again, you're probably going to be hitting more than one string in this, but that's the goal, right? So, and then lift your middle finger up off the high E string, and then repeat. All right, just going back and forth between that, and then he does a little bend, a little bendy. That's just half step. And which finger you do with this doesn't really matter. I think I've seen Giner do a couple things. I think I've mainly seen him do it with his pointer finger, his first finger, whatever, I think. But it's... But it's really important to get that sound because you want it to sound kind of like just a tiny little bend, you know? You don't want to go, you don't want to overbend it, just a little. So it goes up and then you bring it back down, right? And it really helps to have the lower strings ringing out underneath of that so that it keeps kind of a bigger sound. Right? So yeah, just that's what goes on underneath of the solo and everything. And then he kind of switches to these couple riffs at the end. So let's go over that. So that's your open A. You may be hitting it in combination with the D string, but that's so that's alternating between 9 and 10 on the D. And then I hear him do that. Little trill there. And then so that's 10, 9 open on those strings. And then it's that high E there. So, right, so after you hit the high E, it just kind of comes down in a random order. Right, so, and then, so, same thing as before. And then he ends with a hammer on there to the 10. So that now it's 9 and 10 on those two strings respectively, and again open G, and same thing as before. And then it goes back to the first one. And then he goes, I hear him doing this. So that's what's that? 6 and 7, right? So after you hit the high E this time, he goes to the A. So after he hits the high E, right? So A, D, A, G. Right, and then he goes. So that's 5 and 4 on the A and D. And then hit the IE there, and then it doesn't really matter what you hit there. Right? And so he does that X number of times, and then the last riff of the song, what he kind of rides out on is. That's again open strings except for. So that's 10 on the high E and 9 on the D. And again, I think it sounds a little bit better if you either hybrid pick like I'm trying to do, or if you can just finger pick it if you want. So he just moves that down to the second and third, right? And everything else open. And usually when they play it live, he just ends it up there. All right, so that's what Gene's playing there, and I'll go over the lead parts in another video. Thank you for watching.